Hello everybody, a very good morning to you and welcome back to another live stream here at Taurex and at Moss. Hope everyone is having a good week in the market so far. We are into the middle of the week, as I always say. I always try and stream on a Wednesday or Thursday because I know that's when we see the majority of the market moves, and we're in a fantastic GBP Japanese yen trade at the moment, so I want to provide an update on that. Let me just quickly make sure I've got the giveaway turned on because I was a bit slow setting up. Just want to check that all the entries will go through. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, those who have commented win, could you just comment win again? Sorry, I forgot to press start on the giveaway. Just make sure you comment win again, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hello to you all anyway. It's really good to have you with me today on this live stream. And hopefully we can find some more trade ideas and have a look at some of the narratives in the market news we've had coming out over the last few days. One of the biggest themes that I spoke about in the on Tuesday stream, was it? Was it live on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday stream was that we needed to take ourselves away from the narratives and the scary headlines and actually start looking at the real data and what the real economists are saying, rather than the scary headlines that we read on BBC News. And really, that's really been the theme, hasn't it? Because obviously we have been in a period of geopolitical. I would even call it uncertainty. I'd call it pretty much war. Yet what we see is a stock market which is now at all-time highs, and an oil market which has fallen like 10-15%. And I imagine that a lot of people, retail traders, not you guys obviously, because obviously you have me to tell you otherwise, but normal retail traders would probably have been caught out on that sort of thing. So that's the reason that I spoke about that on Tuesday, and that definitely has been the theme for the last week or so, to be honest with you. I will be touching on a few requests that we've had today as well. Obviously with these streams, they are always a Q&A session thing as well. So like if anyone has any questions on any markets, then I want to make sure that I spend the time now to go through those requests on markets or questions. And we have a few today. So just let me quickly go through the YouTube chat now and just say hello to everybody and good morning to everybody who has decided to join today. So Nasdi, hello to you. Good to see you. Hello to you, Easton. Brett, it's good to see you as well. Danny, hello to you. Good to see you. Curtin's on the stream as well. Good to see you, Curtin. Easton, 50% off on Atmos went away without notice. So I'd saved up just about enough to get me a 100k account. I do apologise about that. I unfortunately, I'm just a trading educator. I have no decision on whether we're going to get like discount codes or anything like that. So that is up to the people who run that side of things on Atmos. So if you do have any concerns about discount codes or anything like that, please reach out to our fantastic team of moderators. I can tell you this, is that obviously at the moment, sometimes I'm not active on Discord throughout the day, and that's just because I'm having lots of meetings at the moment. We've got some fantastic things planned in the sense of like a new educational course, and also like potentially a one-to-one coaching service. So like imagine if you wanted to go to the gym and you're going to sign up to a PT. I'm looking to sort of be that PT for people who are looking to, not necessarily just beginner traders who don't know how to trade and want to get into the industry, but also for those who are more experienced in trading and just need to have some guidance on how to do things better. So that is in the pipeline, and I'm hoping as a result of that, as part of my coaching service, I will have potentially some discount codes to give away to you for Atmos. So let me request that for you and give me some time, and I promise this will all be worth it for you. I assure you that. Lara, hello to you. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Jake, it's good to see you as well. And yes, we are accepting UK clients now on Atmos, so that's great. Fatai, hello to you. Good to see you. Jake's laughing at me. James, good to see you as well. Brett wants me to have a look at gold. Gold, yep, that's on the list, no problem. What do I think of the Powell speech yesterday? Nasdaq's already on the ball. You know I'm already going to go through what Powell said yesterday, and also some news that's just come out from Powell in the last sort of hour, or probably 20 minutes or so, regarding the old Trump versus Powell war, which is going on, because Trump does not like him, does he, at all. Daniel, hello to you. Good to see you. Fatai, hello to you as well. FX Tyro. Daniel, Japanese yen is getting stronger. What happened? Or is it just a normal retracement after the push? Yes, we'll take a look at the pound versus the Japanese yen as well. No problem. Aruda, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Brett's in a gold buy. Good to see you. And Aruja. Yes, I will take a look at gold for you. No problem. Don't worry. I will take a look at gold. Where do we start? Let's start with my Twitter account, because after some requests over the last I don't use X too much. After some requests over the last few streams about me opening up an X account, I have done that now. I've actually just transferred what my personal one was over to a X account. So if you do want to follow me, I'm going to send the link in the chat now. Feel free to give me a follow. I'm going to be sharing, some gems on there, talking about some of the things that have coming out at the moment. Some more like, some more out there opinions, really. I suppose that's what X is for. So I will give it a follow. I will follow you back. Give it a follow, and you can have a look at some of the things that I'm thinking throughout the day. If you want to do that, then feel free. The African Entrepreneur, hello to you, good to see you. I'm doing very well, thank you, and I hope you are as well. Adolphus, hello to you, good to see you, hope you're doing well. And BK Trading, hello to you, and hello to everyone else who has decided to join the stream, or maybe watching on catch-up like I know some of you do. Feel free to give me a follow on X, please. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so some news that we had out. Oh, someone's even given me a follow already. Who's this? Patrick, thank you. Yeah, I do apologise about that, Easton. I really am sorry, but yeah, as I said, we've got some amazing things planned. Okay, let's start first of all with the more pressing news, which doesn't. Again, it feeds into this whole credibility thing in the US, and this is my theory as to why the dollar's falling. And I've been bearish on the dollar now for quite a few months. We've had some good trades on dollar shorts. We've particularly tried to cash in on euro dollar longs and GBP USD longs. I've done that quite nicely this year, really, or probably over the last sort of 3 months at least. And I think this just makes things even worse. So Trump has come out basically and said that he may name a new Federal Reserve chairman earlier to try and push through some interest rate cuts. I'll be totally honest. I don't know if he's even allowed to do this, to be honest with you. It's probably a little bit of a grey area. On one hand, I'm like, he probably can't do that. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking, it's Trump and he does what he wants. Either way, no matter how you slice and dice this isn't a good look, is it? When you have the President of the United States actively calling out the chairman of the Federal Reserve. It's not a good thing. We want these two in a healthy environment to be working with each other and being in agreement on what the path is for monetary policy going forward. And the fact that they're going against each other as well, I would say it's more Trump being the aggressor in this situation, and Powell just continues to say I'm in control of interest rates. I say what happens with monetary policy, and tends to really just ignore what Trump says. But it's going to come to a point where you can't ignore it, because it's picking up some steam here. And the thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that we are seeing a lot of pressure on Jerome Powell to cut rates. And if I'm being honest in terms of what I think, and it doesn't really matter what I think because I'm not a chairman of the Federal Reserve, and he knows miles more than I do. But what I would say is that interest rates are relatively quite high in comparison to Europe, and we are seeing inflation which is continuing to fall. We are seeing things that are, or data which is slowly weakening, and that it is a dangerous game, and it's a really impossible, to be honest, job in terms of when the right time to cut interest rates is, because he doesn't want to stir up inflation, but at the same time, but yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on a little bit, but let's just read what he said. So, President Donald Trump is weighing whether to name a successor to the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, as early as this summer. in a sharp break from tradition that could give him sway over monetary policy before Powell's term ends in May 2026. What does this mean? This essentially means that Trump wants someone to come in who's going to cut interest rates in order to support the economy. Why? Because for Trump, it looks great if interest rates are cut, because when interest rates are cut, the economy performs better, right? It's seen as a positive thing for the economy when you flood money. It's inflationary, which is why Powell doesn't want it, because when Powell spoke yesterday, he said that tariff-driven inflation remains a big, big question. Essentially what he's saying there is what Trump done with tariffs back in when it was March or whenever, February, March, whenever all this thing kicked off and the tariff situation, he sees tariffs as an inflationary thing. So he's worried that when the effects of the tariffs filter through the economy, it's going to result in higher prices. That's why we need interest rates to stay at a higher level. And Trump's saying, ignore that. We don't want the economy to fall off a cliff. We want interest rate cuts right now in order to support the economy. What do you do? Who wins here? It really is a battle between two of the biggest names when it comes to the US economy. So how this ends, I'm not sure. All I do know, right where I'm sitting now, is that this is not a good look on the US economy. That for me means, in market terms, dollar weakness. Continuation of dollar weakness. Especially because now, with this being said, it looks like more interest rate cuts are starting to be priced in more than they were a couple of weeks ago. We spoke a little bit about this CME FedWatch tool and looked at the probabilities. Those probabilities have been shifting, and this is what moves markets. Okay, not the scary headlines that you read on Sky News. This stuff is really what moves the markets. Okay, and if people are on the ball with all of this, they can get some good trading opportunities. So now for the July Federal Reserve meeting, that percentage chance of a cut has now gone up to 25%. When that was at like what, 1% or maybe 5% or something a few weeks ago. So you can see that shift and that pricing of more interest rate cuts. And then when you look at the markets, they respond in that way. Look at the dollar. Since we had that shift of that probability and as we start to see interest rate cuts being priced in a bit more, what happens? The dollar falls. When you start to understand that, that's when you really start to understand markets, okay? Rather than trading the narrative. Trade what's happening for real. Let's just read what some of the people have said. Adolphus says that I changed from switch markets to Taurex without telling us. Switch markets, that was... I never worked for switch markets. I worked for a previous educational company who owned switch markets, but I left then back in November. So I'm now with Taurex, and so now I actually work for Taurex. I'm the education manager. I'm in charge of the content from a global perspective. So that's why I'm now with Taurex. Trump wiped out my account. Oof. On what? Nasdi says that the market is really hard to trade right now. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose it's been a little bit difficult. Not if you've been looking at dollar short opportunities like I have, though, but there we go. Powell will not stand again. I do agree with that. I think Powell's time's probably coming to an end. But whether it can be done earlier, we'll see. Powell is staying steadfast to his job role. Correct. Yeah, I agree with that. He sees inflationary pressures. He's got the data which none of us get access to. He sees what the he uses, or him and his team at the Federal Reserve will use their own models to determine what is potentially going to happen with inflation, and he believes that there are inflationary pressures still around. So who's to say there's not? We don't know. What's your thoughts on gold? Thank you very much for the follow on Twitter as well. Kirkton says that the Fed Reserve Act says the Fed members can be removed by the president. Could that include the chairman? Yeah, again, it's a little bit of a grey area. We're talking about Fed members, and the Fed chair is a very, very different thing, right? Obviously, the Fed chair is the chairman. So yes, he can remove Federal Reserve members. Can he do the same thing with the chairman? I suppose the chairman is technically a member, so maybe he could, and that's maybe why the markets are starting to price in more interest rate cuts. Little Little Cop says, yeah, now I'm going long on gold. And as a, yeah, I mean, I've actively been saying about this gold, and we'll take a look at gold now then, because it ties into gold. It's hard to be bearish on gold, despite the fact that we see obviously a reduced level of uncertainty in the world, with obviously the war situation calming down somewhat, and you would expect then gold to fall, but the problem is we've got a weaker dollar, and that's keeping gold higher, and that's why we've seen that, and that's what I explained to you. So overall, for me, yes, definitely, I'm still bullish on gold, and you can see we've got a nice breakout at the moment. So let's just try and get a. Sorry, that's on the 5 minute. Ignore that. Oh, okay, we can see. No, pretty much what I said. I said that gold would fall down to. Where did I say? I think I said it might fall down to this wick here. We didn't quite get there, did we? I would have liked to have seen this low taken out, this liquidity taken out first, but it looks like it's probably not going to be the case. Let me go to my actual. No, it's not that one. I've got different profiles set up. Here we go. Gold. Straight back into that previous fair value gap. I didn't really see it acting as support. In fact, you know what? I'm going to delete that. I was actually looking for, yeah, a move down here. That was it. Yeah. So it's still a bit far away, to be honest with you. My personal level to buy gold is down at 3235, because we've got liquidity here, and we've got I believe we've got a 4-hour demand zone. Yeah. This for me is like the ultimate level personally to buy gold. This is what I'm going to do on my account. So I know people will say we're quite far away, and I'm not saying that gold could go from here. It wouldn't surprise me if gold like completely swerved any of the areas that I'm looking for and just went straight up towards 3,500. Overall, I'm bullish on gold. But for me, I always say to myself, unless it hits an area that I've marked as an area to buy, I don't get into trades early. Just if I miss out on the trade, I miss out on the trade. I'm not fast. But I'd rather get in at an area where I know it can hit. You know, gold moves quickly. It looks far away now, but I could come back on Monday next week and we could be pretty much there. So for me right now, gold remains a buy, but that is for me a buy at 3234. If you are into a buy already, I'll just be careful about a gap that we see in here as resistance, and then we could potentially come and take out 3,400 without moving down to here. So if you are in a buy already from down here, great, well done. Look to protect your stop loss by maybe moving it to entry, so you've got a risk-free trade, because obviously I'm biased and I think that gold may fall down to 3,230. That's where I'm looking to buy, and if that does come true, obviously you're going to be stopped out if you're long now. But if you are long and you are in profit, then look to move that stop loss to entry. Bit bullish for Bitcoin as well. Yep, that's fair enough. Let me just read what NASDAQ has said. But what if Powell cuts rates? Will the NASDAQ continue to pump? Yes. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that if Powell cuts rates, then yeah, that will be seen as a positive thing for the markets right now, because I believe that we're in a situation. If you go back to my streams previously, what I've said is just be careful with interest rate cuts in the stock market, because often interest rate cuts, theoretically, what you say, NASDAQ, is bang on. That is a positive thing for the stock market, of course, if we cut interest rates. But you have to think of the reason why we're cutting interest rates, because if we cut interest rates because the economy is falling off a cliff, that is seen as a saving measure, and therefore we won't see an increase in the stock market in that sense, because it's a sign that the economy is weakening, right? However, in this current environment right now, I don't see that, and therefore an interest rate cut right in this sort of next few months, unless obviously like NFP falls off a cliff. If in the current environment, in an interest rate cut, I fully agree the NASDAQ should continue to go higher. And when I look at the NASDAQ right now, remember how I spoke about how it was important how we interacted with the all-time high? Do you remember I said that? Well, look, a break above the all-time high, a retest of it, and boom, off we go again. So I actually believe that any sort of dip that we see in the stock market, I'll be looking to buy it. And I believe that the Nasdaq will continue higher, and I believe we'll make a move we'll make probably a move up to around 22,500 in the next week or so. That's what I believe, probably even potentially higher. And I think what we might see now is we could be in this wave of new bullish price action. New all-time highs, things aren't looking too bad. I'm bullish on the stock market. I'm bullish on Bitcoin as well. So yeah, that would be my view. And what we said on Tuesday worked out really well, because you can see that we did get a break above the 4 hour as well. You can see the break above wasn't quite, there's no liquidity sweep here, is there? That looks to me like we're now seeing the previous all-time high act as support rather than resistance. Okay. What else was I going to say? Oh, the daily. Okay. Look at the daily. So yes, okay, we did get late last night. We got some sellers coming into this daily candle, but look, that we closed above all-time highs. We actually closed above it. So now what I think we could see, this is the trade for me. If I'm actually going to trade it, and I probably will, because I do like trading the Nasdaq, is that I want to see obviously the daily candle today close a good chunk above the all-time high, and then what we might see is this. Yes, people might go, oh, it's just break and retest. You know, it's not even a good. It's not even, you know, it's an easy thing to do. Everyone does break and retest. You know, but trading doesn't have to be difficult. Think about it logically. If there were any selling orders here or any stop losses here, we can see that we took out those stop losses. We closed above the all-time high. This would have been previous resistance, and now it turns support. Simple. We don't need to overcomplicate things. So yeah, I do believe that we may see continuation in the stock market higher. Okay, let me just quickly have a look at another request I've had. It was you, Laura. If you're on the stream, I promised you that I'll take a look. I can't find it now. Yes, on Ask Connor. The WTI price surge on. I'm going to actually, Laura, if you don't mind, I'm going to put your comment in the chat so people can read it, and we take a look at oil. So the WTI price surge on June the 11th to June the 13th likely left behind bullish FVGs on the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart. Did you spot them? Could you break that down on Thursday from an FVG perspective? Sure. Let me have a drink. Right. Oil. Let's have a look. That worked really nicely, didn't it? That was a beautiful trade. Oil. So the price surge on June the 11th to June the 13th. So let me go to those dates. Here. This. June the 11th to June the 13th. Basically what, Laura, you're saying is this move here. WTI is crude oil, NASD. So yes, I am bullish on the Nasdaq COPs, and to answer your question before, I execute trades on either the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, or sometimes the hourly time frame, and not so often the 15 or 5 minute. But if I do execute on those 15 or 5 minutes, I make sure my risk is a lot smaller. I say, Lara, forget these gaps, these FVGs that were left, because you are correct. You can see these FVGs that were formed during that move, right? And you can see that they've now been filled, and the price has continued lower. Obviously, you got to remember this is oil. It's heavily influenced by fundamentals. So obviously we had the war, the war, the threat of World War III, shall I say? I don't even know if that's the right thing to say, but like the threat of obviously what was going on between the US and Iran, and then obviously that got reversed. So we saw a big spike and then a big reversal. So yes, those fair value gaps now been filled, but look, can you see what I'm looking at on this left hand side? That's the one. That's the gap. That's the real gap. This for me here is a beautiful fair value gap. Like a true fair value gap. And to add even more confluence on this, you can see we've got a tight consolidation period around it, which means that this is liquidity. Okay, imbalance underneath it, and this for me means that a trade is opening up for something that looks like this. Now let me just speak about the stop loss on the trade and why I would place it there. For me personally, the reason I would place it there is because if you look at the previous liquidity here, you can see we had a liquidity grab and then the move higher. Yeah, so if the market was to, you know, fall down to 59, and also it covers the 60 mark, because we could come down to 60 and bounce. If we fall below this wick here, then I believe we might be coming for like 57, 55, etc. So, and we've got a brilliant risk reward because we could potentially target the fair value gaps from the move lower, right? So this for me looks like a really solid trade idea. So much so, I will be placing a 2% trade on that. I just took a screenshot and I lost it because I want to post it in the trade ideas section. Where is it? Trade ideas. This is my oil buy from the live stream, and I'll post it in the Atmos Discord channel as well. There we go. Oh. So yeah, there's a trade idea for today that I would be taking a look at. The reason it's a true FVG, Lara, is because there's a physical gap. There's a physical gap in the price. Yeah? So the way that I treat FVGs is that they're an extreme version of imbalances. So all of like this stuff here, there to there, and all of this, that's what I call imbalance. They're great target areas. FVGs, i.e. gaps in the market, they're a more extreme version, right? And they are what I see as true support and resistance. So yeah, that's my trade idea for oil. For anyone who, you know, wants to follow it along, that will be a trade that I will place after the stream ends. Okay, a couple of more requests here to have a look at the German stock index. Is that good for a long as well? Well, we'll have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. Oof, that reversal was just so nice. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good for a long. Because all we saw here really was a natural pullback, right? Like there wasn't really much clear direction there. If you ever get stuck on market structure, just literally get this arrow tool on TradingView here, right? The path tool, and just draw high to low, high to low, high to low, really randomly. And then what you get left with is that. And if I showed you that, I would say it's a bit of a mess. You know, so like you can see how really this really is just a pullback from the bullish move that we had, which means for me, yes, I'm still looking for longs on the German stock index. You can see we've already reacted from this fair value gap. Just drop that down a time frame or so. Can't see anything clear cut just yet in terms of like an entry point. Where am I? I'm on the 1 hour now. Okay, right, let's have a look. So we've got some internal liquidity sweeps there. Nice little breakout. Can we use a fib? Maybe the 61.8. Maybe something. It looks like this. It's only a 2.8 to 1 risk reward though. But I'm worried about if we get like a move down and sort of take out some of this. But we could aim even higher. If we aim for the all-time highs. Look at that. I know it's obviously... It's a 10 to 1 risk reward. 10 to 1. But look at this. Okay, this is much better. We've actually got an order block there from the bullish break on the 1 hour time frame. So this is what I would class as a riskier entry, and this would be classed. This would be my entry. Would cover that wick. 7.5 to 1 for the same target. Yeah, no, the TP point is like a longer term one. But by that point, I would have a minimal amount left on the trade if I ever got there. But they're my two trade ideas for the German stock index. So I'm going to keep that analysis on there because I want to see how this one goes. I'm not going to place this one, but it's a 10 to 1 risk reward. So if I would look to maybe put like 0.25% on it or 0.5%. But for my main trade on the DAX would be this one here. So I'll continue to monitor that, and I will place that trade as well. The perfect time to trade the German stock index probably during the European hours. So about what it probably opened up 40 minutes ago. So now is a good time to trade. This is when you'll get good volatility right now. GBP USD and USD yen. I did see your requests there. So let's have a look at some of the dollar pairs. GBP USD. Yeah, look at that. I just knew that I just knew we weren't bearish on this. This was just, you know, a natural pullback, and you can see we're now exploding higher. Look, GBP USD is not in an area to trade right now, if I'm being honest. I would probably wait for something like this. It's a little bit of a break and retest from the previous high. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but this could be good support. Or alternatively, what you could use, and I'm sure Dan's on the stream, one of my biggest Swan's Shawn, a demand zone is an order block. It's like the area in where the first impulsive move happened. It's all going to be in my trading academy, but essentially, just in really quickly short terms, it's like the footprint that's left behind by institutional investors. Okay, so it's like the previous. The starting point of a big move to the upside or the downside. So you can get a bearish order block, which is resistance, and a bullish order block, which is support. So yeah, GBP USD not quite on with my sort of manual style of trading, but my mechanical way of trading on the trend rider. I want to see what that looks like. Yeah, this would be what I do. I would wait for the price to hit this red line. Daniel, if you are on the stream, I know you are a big trend rider fan. and basically I'd have a trade that looks like this. Okay, so that's what I would look for on GBP USD, and for dollar yen, I imagine it's going to look pretty similar. Oh no, dollar yen. Oh, dollar yen's a mess, isn't it? Remember that head and shoulders? Look how perfectly this this worked out as well. Look, so you've got this trend line, and then we had a break of it. Then we had a retest and we went lower, right? And then we went up to one of my pivot points, resistance 1, and then went lower. So it's a little bit more messy. Like the chart, I do apologise if it looks really messy. It doesn't look great. I know. I'm actually just going to sort of remove some of the drawings. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I'll just remove that one. Move all this. I still think we could now, for dollar yen, make a move down towards the neckline of this head and shoulders, probably somewhere around the 142 mark. So that's still a good 200 pips away from where it is right now. Yeah, you can analyse gold with that. No problem. Of course you can. Okay, thank you very much for the entries for the live giveaway. I'm going to do the giveaway in just a second. Before I do that, I just want to point you in the direction of the economic calendar here. So as you can see, I'm on the Taurex Plus tools. So at Taurex, we have some fantastic suite of tools. We've got the Signal Center, if you're looking to get some regulated signals to your account. We've got AI news sentiment. We've got technical views, where you'll get like breakdowns in all the markets. If you want to just quickly check what some of the experts have said about markets, you can read that as well. You get the expected move as well, so you can see how much you should be expecting from the range that we're in at the moment. Featured ideas, economic insights. There's loads of tools there to take a look at. You do get a free trial on this as well, I believe, for 30 days. But if you do have an account with Taurex, you get these tools for free completely. So as long as you've got an account with Taurex, you can get these tools for free. If anyone wants to take a look at that, then I'll drop the link in the chat for you there. It's no affiliate link or anything like that. It's just a link that you can take a look at the tools if you wish to do so. The one that I look at more often than not, as everyone knows, is the economic calendar. And when I look at today's news, we just spoke a lot about sort of US markets, gold, and it's important, therefore, we understand that GDP is out today. Now, GDP, gross domestic product, it's the economic growth figure in the US economy. So we're going to get the annualized figure today, which essentially is the economic growth in the US over the past year. And you can see that the forecast is for minus 0.2%, which basically means the economy in the US has shrunk by 0.2% in terms of GDP over the last year. Should we see that confirmed today? For me, the narratives then remain the same, and that is essentially that we should see a continuation of dollar downside and gold upside. If we see a surprise in the figure, i.e. a stronger figure than expected, we may see a pop in the dollar temporarily, and we may see a fall, hopefully in gold, down towards my area, but hopefully not for you hopefully not for you if you are already in gold long. So take a look at that news for today as well. And overnight we've got the Tokyo CPI, so Japanese inflation, which will have an impact on the Japanese yen as well. Stronger inflation, stronger yen. Weaker inflation, weaker yen. As I say, you can have a look at this tool, and if you scroll down, it gives you all the historic, like based on the last 10 events, how much USD yen has moved. So like in this particular event, the 5-day movement of dollar yen off the back of the Japanese yen inflation report has been around 1%. So it does have an impact on it. So you can read the insights, etc., on these tools if you do wish to do so. Okay. So we're going to do the giveaway now. I did say previously, obviously we were doing the double giveaways whilst I was away for the week. Obviously we're back now, so we're back to the the normal giveaways, or they're still good giveaways. If we can get the streams, guys, if we can get the streams up to 250 views, 500 views, somewhere in that region, then I'll look to increase the giveaways, okay? And maybe try and do something a bit better. So if you do have any friends that are into Forex or trading in general and want to have an update on what's going on and see my trade ideas, etc., or would be interested in a coaching service or anything like that, share this with them and get these stream numbers up, share them on your social medias, and yeah, that would be I would really appreciate that, and that will really help in terms of the giveaway section. Okay, we've got 89 entries today. So the first giveaway that we're going to be giving away today, as always, is a $10,000 Atmos two-phase funded challenge account. So if you do win, please drop your Discord username in the chat section. You can either do that live, or you can do that after the stream's ended on the video, and I will message you. I'll message you on Discord on how to win. Okay, and remember, guys, I know everyone wants to win, but commenting win 1,000 times won't increase your chances. It only counts if you enter. Commenting win once is the same as commenting win 1,000,000 times. Okay. Oh, sorry. Fatai, let me just, sorry guys, I know people wanted to look at the stream, but I did promise Fatai that I'll take a look at the pound versus the Japanese yen. I completely forgot. It was a trade that I was already in. We spoke about a lot of things today. So here's my trade on the pound versus the Japanese yen. Right now, you can see that we had a nice entry from 197. We reached 1-to-1 risk reward, and I moved my stop loss to entry. So should the price hit this area, then I'm going to be stopped out for no loss. So for me, this is a free trade. I believe that we could hit 200 on the pound versus the Japanese yen. And if you are looking for a re-entry of this trade, in the area we are now, roughly, it's not a bad re-entry area, but maybe try and wait for a move down towards 197.5. That could be a good re-entry point for the pound versus the Japanese yen. This is just, people are asking, is this anything like news related? It's not. It's just a pullback. You can see that we have had a nice bullish breakout, move higher. We could even come down and potentially take me out, but I'm still bullish on the pound versus the Japanese yen all the time that we're trading above 194. Okay, so good luck to those who entered. Our first winner of the funded challenge, the challenge account with Atmos, is Anakia Mir. Congratulations to you. You have won today's giveaway for the 10K funded challenge on Atmos. Please drop your Discord username. Congratulations to you, and yeah, good luck on the challenge account. So please drop your Discord username, and I will message you on how to claim your prize. The second winner is a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. So if you are looking to open a brokerage account, we're going to give you 50% on top of your deposit. So if you deposited $500, we'll give you $250 on top and make your account up to $750. The winner of that is the African Entrepreneur. Congratulations to you. Well done. You have won the 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. Good stuff. Well done to those who won. It is a random draw. It's completely random. I don't give any biases to anyone. I literally can't look. But you can see that I get the giveaway there. I literally click a button and the name comes out. What I would say is, if you're a subscriber of the YouTube channel, you get double the chance to win. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and when you enter win, it gives you double the chance to win. So for those who won, please drop me a message on or put your Discord username, and I will message you on how to claim the prize. Congratulations to those winners. If no one claims the prize, then I will roll it over to the next stream. So I'll let you know on Monday. So I'll be live again on Monday. Tomorrow is a public holiday here in Dubai, so I won't actually be working. I'll still be looking at the markets a little bit. Anything that anyone needs, feel free to reach out to me on Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help. Until then, trade well, trade safe, and I will see you all for the stream on Monday, the week ahead stream. But again, I will be active on Discord. Ask me anything new you need, and I'll be happy to help. Take care, and I'll see you soon.